I am Jeanette Tamayo. Welcome to the Little Rummager YouTube channel. This year, Lady Rebecca Fashions and Curly Cosplay have organized a collaboration called Historical Halloween 2020, and I am very excited to participate. Basically, the aim of the collaboration is open to anybody to recreate a fancy dress costume, then post about it through Instagram and or YouTube with the Historical Halloween 2020 hashtag. The main source of inspiration for these fancy dress costumes comes from Weldon's Fancy Dress Catalogs, a British patterns and catalog company for children and adult costumes, which were published in the late 1880s through the 1930s. And just to clarify before I move on, no one participating in this collaboration is condoning or recreating any of the racially insensitive costumes. Weldon's as a source material is offensive to many groups within the BIPOC community, and I don't want to induce the impact of anyone's trauma, so I will not be including any of the problematic costumes from the catalog in this video. If you too are part of the BIPOC community, I understand if you want to skip ahead. I will be talking later about my choice of costume in the video at this time. Though if you are interested in seeing the costumes from Weldon's catalog, they are accessed easily through Googling or a Pinterest search for Weldon's Fancy Dress Catalog or Fancy Dress Costumes. Though some of the first images from the catalog will be anti-black imagery, like the Ku Klux Klan costume and a blackface ragdoll costume, all right on the same page as Robin Hood and Maid Marian. I feel like it's really important to talk about problematic costumes because when we are faced with racist stereotypes in costuming, we need to speak out about it and not gloss over it or hide away from it as if it didn't exist. And actually, we shouldn't be surprised that these images exist in these catalogs at all, as you must realize because of not only the collective history of racism and oppression in the BIPOC community, but as a reminder, some of the costumes we are pulling inspiration from were published during times where United States legislation helped fuel the injustices of racism. Through the era of the Asian Exclusion Act, Jim Crow laws, and in the same time of publication, Native Americans finally were recognized as U.S. citizens in 1924. I realize Weldon's Fancy Dress is a British publication, so I'll include race riots that were occurring in the late 19-teens, and finally anti-racism legislation like the Race Relations Act of 1965 was finally ratified. I saw this discussion as a really good opportunity to also connect the dots and emphasize the fact that there still is a lot of work that needs to be done, and Weldon's is a good example of the history behind costuming being used as a means of racial oppression and cultural appropriation. And costumes are still being misused in this fashion today. So there may be questions floating around out there pertaining to why I feel it is okay to pull a costume for inspiration from Weldon's. Well, because there are plenty of costumes in the catalog that are not at all based on racist stereotypes. And just like today, especially during Halloween, we use our best judgment to pick out a costume that is not hurtful or problematic to anyone's race or culture. With that all being said, I mentioned a couple weeks ago on my thrift haul that I was going back and forth on which night fairy I wanted to recreate. I ended up going with the 19-teens version of Night Fairy, or also known as Starlight Fairy. It's got this really great silent film star vibe. You know, that costume is just... That is the most talking I have done in a while. I am usually a really quiet and introverted person, so the people that are out there and know me personally watching this video are probably like, whoa. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking with me. Please be sure to press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in seeing how my Starlight Fairy costume turns out and other future projects. Those little things, such as liking my channel and subscribing, help this channel keep going and growing. Also, for the comments, just please be respectful. Alright everyone, I am excited to see everyone's costumes for Historical Halloween 2020. Just go out there, have fun, and don't be racist. Bye.